to.
Yep, we see Pink Kitty Rose saying, "No sword for you." And we're going to start off this standard swordless run. Going to have to go through the whole front.
I didn't know we were in Termina. Oh, we already had a map check. I didn't catch it, but I'll try and catch it on the replay here. Pink Kitty Rose did do a quick map check here. And it looks like we have... It was still too quick. We have a crystal at Desert Palace. I didn't catch the rest of it.
I think a crystal at Eastern Palace. Looks like the trackers agree with that. And a Cane of Samaria to start off with.
And we have a pendant marked on Tower Hera as well. Cane of Samaria is a great starting item. I'll let you go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's a very versatile starting item. Gets you a lot of utility. It's not useless later on in the game like Cane of Burning usually ends up being.
Mm. What do you mean? Everyone uses the Cane of Burner to kill Aghanim.
It's definitely in the top 2 canes you can get in the game.
Saudi 95 gets this Cane of Samaria. The other 3 runners are already moving into the main part of the escape sequence. So I'm gonna guess Sonny must have been trying to find a bomb or something like that, because bombs are a precious commodity in this particular area. The runners will be looking for bombs either in a chest as a collected item, or from some enemy, whether it be these guards or whether it be the rats in the back of the escape that we'll see later.
Yeah, bombs can be so finicky for standard mode, because sometimes they'll throw 3 different bomb drops at you. They'll be at all of the prize packs, and sometimes it'll be slim picking.
And it looks like the first chest here was a key, so we are still on the hunt for bombs. At least that key is one of the required dungeon items here, the other being the map. Later dungeons will also give you a compass and a boss key, which the boss key in this case is pre-planted in a specific location in front of Zelda's cell on one of those guards.
Yep, it looks like both Cassidy and Pink Kitty Rose got a single bomb drop off that blue guard. That's a nice little bit of random for you.
So guards are in play today. The blue guards are known to have bombs at this point. So we'll see if the other 2 runners do eventually come across one of those. We do know this chest has money in it, so that next chest, so we know they are still not getting bombs as a drop. Maybe Zelda's cell will have a few in there. Now, one interesting thing about the standard mode where swordless or even randomized swords is in play, if the uncle does not have a sword, he can have a number of items. It would include the fire rod, the Cane of Burner you mentioned, but hammer as well, which is vital in this mode. We'll talk about that more later, but he also can have bombs. 10 bombs. Just 10 free bombs. Go ahead and use them to kill guards. And then speaking of bombs, there are some in Zelda's cell.
You'd think she'd use that to blow her way out. I'd think a prison break is in order.
Yeah, she's not. She definitely does not qualify as an escapist in my view. So the runners are now making their way out of the basement of the Hyrule Castle, and they're making their way back upstairs. They're going to make their way to the throne room and hide, basically right into the back to get away from everyone and get Zelda to safety through the sewers. Now, interesting thing about the sewers is the game was hard-coded to give Link the flashlight, like the lamplight, in the back sequence during this escape sequence. After Zelda's back at the Sanctuary, that flashlight goes away. The reason that's hard-coded, first of all, is because in the normal way the game is played, the game assumes you have the lamp by that point. Princess Zelda typically won't even let you get back there. But because the lamp can be randomly located somewhere else, in this case, she's programmed not to do that, and as a result, you still get the lamplight. I just like to call it Zelda's lamp.
Yeah, it's just neat, all the little bits of tech and programming that goes in to make the randomizer even possible to work, all the logic that goes into it. Really a lot of work, and shout out to the guys that work on that.
Yep. It's been something we've had for a few years, and it doesn't get boring. It just does not get boring.
We're seeing our runners, since they all picked up that bomb pack, probably going to ignore all the critters in the dungeon in the sewers just to get past, not worrying about any more item drop.
Well, except for one that has a key. We need to kill that one. But otherwise, I believe you are correct. We're going to skip everyone else. And here we are looking for that key one right now. There it is. So the first two riders to emerge are Plasma Cap and Pink Kitty Rose. They're both bombing, and we're going to get to see on the bottom there what we have in that location today. We have just the map. Had to be somewhere. A big 20 and a big 20. So not a really important escape unless you're banking on King Zora. And I do mean banking.
That's a terrible bank to put your money in, my opinion.
I agree.
We got some pretty close to sync action going on as Pink Kitty Rose and Plasma Kappa make their way to the sanctuary. They are going to check that last check since we did see the map.
We're seeing a 603 sanctuary for Pink Kitty or for Plasma Kappa as well. There, Pink Kitty Rose pretty close to that as well. So pretty good sanctuary run. 6 minutes is considered ideal. Better than that, you run pretty fast.
And we see some route divergence right away. PKR is going down to the dam and make some of the South Shore checks while everybody else looks like they're going to be heading towards the woods, Kakariko Village area.
Yeah, Pink Kitty Rose already checking out the dam here. Now, in standard mode, I approve of doing the South Shore plays first. I know I mentioned this last time I commentated as well, but I approve of doing the South Shore plays first because you can get some good items along the bottom area, get to Kakariko, and if you manage to find the book anywhere along that path, you can actually find out what's on the pedestal right away, get that knowledge, which a lot of players think until you have a point where you're looking for something that's hard to find, they don't see a reason for the pedestal. I like to have the knowledge.
Well, and you have such a good chance of picking up a bottle or the flute or any of those other things that make Kakariko checks more complete, just like PKR is finding a bottle right now.
There you go. That's your sick kid right there. And it looks like Cassie Bone is making the quick trip to Eastern Palace already. This is a very quick detour over there. Or maybe going south instead. Maybe wants to check the item on the island before going to Eastern Palace. Just a heart container.
Yeah, but Sonny's going to go check and see what's in the closet.
Yep, he's doing the same thing as Cassie Moen here, except I think he went straight over there. Some money, some sticks, and some bombs. Explosives. And meanwhile, Pink Kitty Rose already got through Mini Molderum Cave quicker than I could have said anything about it. So far, a bunch of big 20s and a big 50. Some sticks, and a piece of heart. Where are all the items today?
Well, there's some gloves down in the bottom of Blind's hut. That's going to be a nice, quick find for our player.
And by the way, the bane of any player's existence, Green Pendant Ice Palace.
That can be some good news for our players. A lot of people don't like Ice Palace, especially if you have to go searching for items in it.
That's what I mean by the bane of any player's existence. So we're going to make our way around to Ice Rod Cave right now. Meanwhile, Plasma Kappa is our only runner who's checking out the wall right now. Find some blueberries. And continuing up to the explosive area. That's a Titan's Mid I think I saw there.
It sure was. Looks like Kakariko Village is going to be all about lifting weights today.
And I'm going to get another look at the Ice Rock Cave on the replay because I missed it. So I'm going to check the replay, and I can see now with chat that it's a big 20 in there.
Looks like Sonny's going to make a check on the desert ledge. Probably see what's in Agina's cave. Nothing but arrows on that ledge. Nothing real important.
Some sticks. We have Plasma Kappa checking out the chicken hut as well. And for some reason felt like picking up a pot there. I've never actually seen that pot picked up before.
It is hiding another chicken.
Oh! There's some game knowledge for you, ladies and gentlemen. Casimone taking out Mini Moldorm Cave, and the reason it's called Mini Moldorm Cave is because of these Mini Moldorms. And he realized he has a bee and he can send the bee after Mini Moldorms, so good job, Worker Bee, good job. And goodbye, Worker Bee. And that's a death.
That was a very strange behavior from that Mini Moldorm. I didn't like that Canis Mario block at all.
No, apparently not. So he's going to have to make his way back down there to check that again.
Yep, PKR learns how to read from the friendly hobo under the bridge.
And here's where I said taking the South Shore check can pay off, because you get to Kakariko Village, you already have the book, you go to the Lost Woods from there. Now, this was a sequence break, so of course it should be pointed out that because we don't have the flippers yet, Desert Palace technically is not yet in logic. However, the runners can go there if they sequence break those for that book.
Cassidy's saying he's going to blow up some of these Mini Moldorms. He's tired of them bullying him around.
And Pickety Rose getting the Ice Palace Green Pendant advice. Sonny is checking out the Lost Woods. He did not sequence break the book. He did check out. I think he did check out some of the Eastern Palace area. I think he's just doing the loop now to get to the South Shore. Actually,
yeah, that's what it looks like. Sonny's going to make his way into Kakariko and start picking up his gloves and his hook shot.
Mm-hmm. So runners are retracing each other's steps right now. It's not very common that we see all the different early roads check this early, and then we're kind of like, okay, now what? Oh, there was $300 on one of those chests too, so that's going to help with the King Zora financing.
The King Zora extortion racket.
Yeah, it's financing.
So while we're seeing some of these extra routes, what are the couple little things that are going to be different in Swordless other than no swords showing up?
Were you asking me that?
Yes, sir.
Well, one of the things about the swords is that they will all be turned into, I like to call them faux 20, because they are green rupee with a number 20 on them instead of a regular red rupee. So you see that you can see where the four swords would have been located. That's one thing that is changed. The hammer is something we'll talk about a little bit more later once we get it. It is actually the main weapon that we use in this mode. You have to use that to kill Ganon, in other words. You can't beat the game without the hammer.
Yes, indeed. And we just got a PKR to check the pedestal. Looks like it's going to be a bloomerang on there. The best boomerang is hidden behind all the pendants.
So in other words, the pedestal is... Never mind. By the way, if you were scorekeeping, the second bottle is located in the library, so we're not going to be likely coming back to pick that up. Sick Kid just gave away a bundle of arrows. Why is the Sick Kid dealing with a bunch of sharp, pointy objects?
You know, that's a really good question. I think he's faking it.
Maybe he poked himself and that's why he's sick. Take these away from me. I don't want to get worse.
It was a terrible archery accident.
Yeah.
That's why he went and hid the bow somewhere.
Yeah.
And Plasma Kappa is checking our friendly, literate, magical hobo. He is going to have enough cash to go visit King Zora.
Did you see the bottle vendor? That was the hook shot. I didn't even catch that earlier. So Casimo now getting the power glove, which changed places because it is the first glove upgrade acquired. When he gets the blind side, it will be the Titans mid in there for that for Cassidy. Oh, look at Plasma Kappa. We're getting our check of the King Zora area. Now, it should be noted that he did not go to Waterfall Cave because he doesn't have the Moon Pearl, and he would have had a sequence break with the Moon Pearl. Blueberry's on the ledge, by the way. So he's going to have to come back later to check Waterfall Cave if necessary. Otherwise, if it turns out nothing's in there, we won't be worrying about it.
Yep, and making the long, arduous walk around to Zora. Meanwhile, I think Sunny95 is heading up towards Death Mountain using that Samaria block as a guide for where he is.
That looks correct. I can't. I don't think he went into Eastern Palace. That would have to be the path to Death Mountain. This is also a sequence break, and there's only 2 items up here that he can access right now. By the way, that was the flute on King Zora, I think.
Finally, a worthwhile investment.
Yeah, that was the flute. I just saw the replay. And this is actually, I think, our first check of the race game today from Pink Kitty Rose. I don't think anyone else has checked this yet.
Fire Rod is on Spectacle Rock. That's kind of nice. As soon as they find themselves a mirror, they can get at that.
That will be something that is useful to pick up later, needless to say. And it looks like Sonny went and checked the item and didn't pick it up inside. So clearly it's a useless item. It's a heart container, after all. Doesn't want the heart container, but also not going in and doing it from below, he gave up the opportunity to check one of the hints in the game. Hint tiles give you some useful or not so useful information about the seed or about other games or things. And a lot of runners will now go in and just check those hint tiles, even if it's a useless item.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of usefulness in them. They can make or break your routing decisions.
Some of them can also be comically timed.
Yes, a unique item is on Uncle is an old favorite.
Yeah. Or something on the lines of the hammer is located in plain sight inside Turtle Rock.
Seeing a more rare fake flipper from Cassidy. Gonna put out near the witch's hut.
By the way, we had the I believe that was the Quake medallion inside of Paradox Cave. I'm getting another look. Yeah, that was the Quake medallion, the bacon coin. We also had a cape in there too. And Cassie's stocking up on goo.
Yep. And important to note, the lamp could be on Death Mountain still, considering we found the flute within logic at Zora.
Yes, that is correct. With the flute in logic, we were meant to come here not through the cave, but through the flying path, which is what Plasma Kappa and Pink Kitty Rose... Well, actually, I wasn't watching them going through the dark, but I see Pink Kitty Rose on the replay does have the old man. Doesn't have the flute yet herself. Plasma Kappa is the only one with the flute, and I didn't see if he went through the cave or if he actually activated the flute.
He has activated the flute.
Oh, he has activated. Okay.
And Cassidy's on their way to go and get the flute as well.
And this will close the logic hole of Death Mountain for any runner who has already been there.
And we're seeing one of those super useful hints saying a unique item is held by somebody friendly. Now that could be Zora with the flute, or it could be something completely different.
Thanks, Uncle. Yeah, that is the most useful hint in a standard mode seed where the Uncle always has a unique item. Except when it's bombs. We're already having predictions in chat that the shovel's going to be on Sahasrara. We will see. So Sunny is the first. Oh,
Oh, Sonny picks up. My apologies.
I just didn't want to interrupt that. The duck is back, or the quack is back. As Sunny is the first runner to check out Eastern Palace and does get the Moon Pearl. So, interestingly, I think he left after that. He didn't check anything else.
He saved and quit right out. He's thinking there's a bunch of Dark World items available to him right now. Maybe he's hoping to find the bow before he winds up going back there.
Yeah, he might be planning to go back and check it out since it's a crystal later and he has to finish it later anyway. He knows he has to go back through. Maybe he's gambling on there being nothing vitally important for now until he finds the bow. Of course, for all we know, the bow could be in there.
That's right. 2 more items wait for us at Eastern Palace, and they could be the bow or the hammer, even, which would be a terrible thing to leave behind.
Well, the hammer is not vital right now. We just have to get it before the end of the games. And there are a couple places that you have to have it to access as well. One of those being Swamp Palace once you're inside.
And PKR making her way to Eastern Palace. We'll see whether she decides to continue on after she finds Moon Pearl or make some of the same Dark World checks right away.
Now, Sunny is taking advantage of the fact that he has the Moon Pearl to fake Flipper and get into Waterfall Cave, so he's going to find a couple new items there. He has another new shirt, and he has some new footwear as well. That's the clothing cave today.
That is a red accessorized outfit right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is a kind of a nice thing to find.
And the boots even more so, because now he can run. Speed run is now beginning. And nice dash across Zora's domain to get his flute. And Cassie now picking up his cape. Pink Kitty Rose is checking out more of Eastern Palace. So Plasma Kappa just getting the Moon Pearl right now and is going to continue on himself, already having the flute. We'll have to go back. We may want to go back to Waterfall Cave later to get those boots, but unless Desert Palace or even Gan's Tower are boots locked, they won't be required.
That's true, but the earlier you find them, the faster it is, the more time it cuts off your run.
Correct.
And PKR's only got 2 checks that she can make left in Eastern Palace, and then we'll see. Hopefully, goes out and gets her flute before making any other move.
So Pink Kitty Rose is going to take us through the dark here, and I think Plasma Kappa is probably going to do the same thing when he gets down there, working his way around to the 3rd chest right now in Eastern Palace, which is the big key, by the way. If we didn't know, since we didn't comment on that earlier on Pink Kitty Rose's side, so that means the big chest was checked. That's a joke hint in Eastern Palace, by the way, nothing useful.
Plasma Kappa choosing to save and quit rather than go break logic by going through the dark rooms.
And certainly understandable. Sometimes you want to stay within logic as much as you can. It was just a piece of heart there anyway, so not a bad play. And that, by the way, was our 3rd item, because we saw some bombs, I believe, a piece of heart in the big chest. So all 3 items have been found. We now know that I didn't catch what was the map or the compass that was picked up, but one of those is on the Armos Knights. And while we have to go back for the crystal, we know it won't be an item we need there. I see a Dark World map check. We have the red pendants in Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. Last time I saw that, the bow was at Pyramid Ferry.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Bo is at Pyramid Ferry. Get your bets in.
Yeah, make your bets on where that bow will be after seeing that combination. The green pendant we knew was on Ice Palace, and Palace of Darkness is the other pendant as well.
So 2 of our runners entering the Dark World in the Misery Mire area. PKR going into the chess game.
So several runners getting the Mire Shadow out of the way here. Specifically, 2 on the red, I noticed were doing it. Pink Kitty Rose doing Village of Outcasts right now, getting the C-shaped house. And also going to check out some other locations, probably do Thieves Town while she's in the area. Cassie Bo looks like going up to Eastern Palace right now. And Cassie does not have that Moon Pro yet, so this will be a correct play. Pink Kitty Rose leaving the brewery. Unfortunately, there was no brewery stuff available, just a piece of heart inside that chest in there. Plasma Kappa going to, looks like, Super Buddy Cave right now.
Yeah, with the hookshot available, all the hookshot cave locations available, getting the information of what's required to get into Turtle Rock, which is eventually going to be required.
It's worth noting as well that we have full Dark World access. Even now, granted, we don't have the flippers, but and we don't have the hammer to get through the hammer pegs, but we can get to any part of Dark World this time because we have the Dark World access. And the hook shot, I think it can be used to go to the right as well, not just to the left, but also to the right on that one spot.
I'm not sure that you can. Talking about on the north of Pyramid, I believe that it only goes from east to west.
It is only east to west. I was trying to remember that. I know you can go east to west. I don't know about west to east. And we're being confirmed in chat from one of our other runners here that it would be a sequence break. You can't legally get to Palace of Darkness yet. So yeah, there's our confirmation. You need the hammer on the. You get the hammer to get the pegs around the one near Palace of Darkness. I know that. So yeah, we can't get to Palace of Darkness yet.
Yep. Plasma Kappa finding a shovel in Hookshot Cave, and not much else of use looks like.
Somebody also getting that shovel.
And the shovels dig up a bunch of blueberries.
You know, that almost seems logical. Dig up some fruit.
And Hype Cave has Baby's First Shield, a little bit of cash, some more blueberries, a little more cash, and a lot more cash. I think Jeremiah is disappointed by that particular tour.
Yeah, so seeing all the lovely items we just picked up from Hype Cave, normally I would ask my co-commentator to rate that Hype Cave, but I think we know where we're going with that one.
I give it a big fat 0.
Yeah, I give it more of a -5. And also, something we didn't make mention of is that the I don't think we mentioned anyway, is that the Quake opens Misery Mire today, so Misery Mire is available once we can get inside. And I think with the hook shot and the boost, we can definitely get inside. And we have the King of Samaria as well.
Absolutely. And we're seeing Swordless mode. You can activate the medallions only when you're standing on the tile for that medallion.
Actually, that brings up one more change we can mention, but we'll worry about that more when we get to Ice Palace, when you see Bombos on the ground there. We'll talk about that one a little bit later, because that is a change. So Hassimon is inside Misery Mire, which there are 2 items in here, so can't blame the play to just check the items in here. It is a crystal dungeon. We do have to finish it. If the lamp is in here, we're in business.
I see Sonny is in Skull Woods. Looks like he found the ice rod in there.
Looks like it. And a key in that chest. There's the map for Thieves Town on Pink Kitty Rose. And some arrows on Plasma Kappa. Which Pink Kitty Rose is about to pick those up. Or not. Oh, yes.
Yes, Chad is pointing out that there's nothing that can destroy Vitreous in Cassidy's inventory yet.
Yeah, nothing. And the front of Thieves Town was pretty much a bust. Of course, the last chest had to be the big key because we hadn't found it yet. But nothing else of worth in Thieves Town so far. However, Plasma Kappa and probably Pink Kitty Rose as well are going to continue in there. And the KS Mario the KS Mario block is capable of damaging blind, so they may just use KS Mario strats on blind today.
You know, I like KS Mario strats. Sometimes I'll even use them in vanilla, or not vanilla, but in a random speed run.
Right.
There's the 10 bomb stack for Cassidy Demon.
That is
Cassidy
an uncle
mode.
item that was introduced in the in this mode as well, so that could have been an uncle item too. Fun fact about this room, the Pink Kitty Rose, and you can actually soft lock the game if you kill one of the enemies in the wrong spot in this room by moving to the next room, and it just looks weird. So it didn't happen here. And I didn't catch the hint on Plasma Kappa side, but we'll see it on Pink Kitty Rose's. No, Pink Kitty Rose did not push the switch. We will not see the hint on Pink Kitty Rose's side. On the replay, it says a glove is in Blind's hideout. Thanks, game. Thank you.
Yes, that was very helpful, seeing as how that was our only Dark World access.
And when in the Sunshine Room, we have a piece of heart. Let's see if Pink Kitty Rose actually checks that hint. Not that we're going to get anything useful out of it, but because I don't think it was checked yet. On her side, she's still not checking it, so no.
Yes, opting for the time save versus the information. Luckily, not missing much information.
Correct. And also, we made a comment about Ice Rod in Skull Woods. I think you mentioned it might have been in Skull Woods. Apparently, it was in Bonk Rocks. We completely missed it.
That's the great thing about having a chat. They keep track of all this stuff for us.
Yep, very useful. Chat just as important as anyone else.
They're the real heroes. I think we're going to see some PKR Mario strats against Blind right here in just a moment.
Meanwhile, we're going to also get to see our blind pun of the day. For those who like puns, stay tuned. Here comes one right now. A weeknight is a tiny nobleman.
Now that's quality puns. You can't even pay for that. That's just for free.
Yeah, that's a free one. The last shot of the Chaos Fire block miss, has to use another block, but gets it down. Pinkity Rose is done blind. And Plasma Kappa is about to be done blind. Lots of health, should be okay with this third
And there's
phase
a
coming
hammer coming off of Blind's body is a hammer.
Now that is a prize. I just saw the chat comment saying, Hammer is always in pod, and now we're getting laughter. So everyone is in the dark world in some fashion here. Looks like Sunny might have checked the catfish. I didn't see what was on the catfish. So we'll have to see another runner get up there later if it was anything important. But I don't think I see anything new marked on the tracker. So Kane of Burna might have been up there, actually. And Plasma Kappa going to the digging game. 1 to 30 digs. And that one of those digs will bring up something special, or not so special. We'll find out in a moment.
Yep, meanwhile, PKR has packed a lunch and is going for a long walk up to a graveyard.
Sounds like a fun vacation. Dig number 24 was a full heart container.
And chat is saying that Catfish had the cane of Brian.
So, Brian, we found your cane. Please check with the Grumpy Fish to claim it. We warn you that the fish is grumpy.
It looks like Sunny's going to make a play in the Palace of Darkness. I'm sure, hoping, like everybody expects the hammer to be there, but unfortunately not going to be the case today.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he sequence break his way over to there? Because if he did sequence break his way over there, the hammer couldn't be there anyway.
You're correct. He must have. Maybe thinking that AGA 1 is required. Though. Oh, that's a nice find.
Now that means that he is bow locked out of Palace of Darkness without doing another glitch, which is considered not required logically, but is accepted for tournament running, where we'll talk about later if another runner does it. But right now, because the first chest was not a key, we are locked out of Palace of Darkness. So he's going to Death Bound. He's going to get the Fire Rod. It's important to note that the Fire Rod, because the mirror was out of logic for him, therefore, the Fire Rod is also out of logic. That means neither item is something he's supposed to have yet. He would have to find the hammer to confirm his way into Palace of Darkness. We know that once he goes to Thieves Town and gets the hammer, it will be in logic, but right now it's out of logic for him.
Yes, but a fire source opens up a Desert Palace for him if he chooses to do so. He can do Skull Woods at any time. Really, it opens up a lot of stuff for him.
Keep in mind that the book is also not in logic yet. That was on the hub, and we still don't have flippers.
That is correct.
But other than that, you are correct. The Fire Rod and the book would be enough to complete Desert Palace outside of logic. So right now, one of the big questions today will be where those flippers are located. We do need them for Swamp Palace anyway, because it is a crystal. So we are definitely going to want to find those flippers eventually. It looks like Cassie Moan is going to go into Thieves Town. You're about to say something. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I think the flippers Probably deeper into Palace of Darkness. That's my call.
I guess that's possible because the hammer would get you to Palace of Darkness.
We need to find the bow first, since it is bow locked Palace of Darkness.
Correct.
But it could end up being our go item.
It could be.
And PKR is the only player who hasn't yet gone up to Zora to get the flute. That's going to limit her options when it comes to some of these checks that the other players already have made.
It's also going to make travel a lot longer for her as well. So Sunny is doing the fire rod check of Mothia. Now again, he's going further down the rabbit hole of out of logic as far as his run is concerned, because he still doesn't have the hammer to get the mirror, to get the fire rod to come back here. So the water walk, he's using it as a way to save time in having to go back there later. Knowing he's gonna have to go back later to Palace of Darkness anyway. It actually turned out to be a good play for him, but it is still out of sequence for him at this time. Sometimes one of the challenges of running randomizer seed, if you do decide to do things out of logic, is sometimes separating what is actually within logic and what is not. For example, if you were to find out the lamp is a Mimic Cave, you know that you have to have some way to get to Mimic Cave without going through dark rooms. And therefore, any items beyond dark rooms or in dark rooms may not come into significance if there's one item left that the lamp would block.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the hints can come into play too, to help you navigate the logic more than anything else.
And now that I said that, watch the lamp be in Mimic Cave. Good fight by Sunny on the big bug. The big bug falls and offers up a bag of powder. I didn't know we cremated the bug on the spot.
Well, that's what you get when you only use the fire rod every time.
Makes sense.
It's cutting it close too with the magic. I was worried for a second.
Yeah, me
these
too.
Are professional players.
But we're gonna present the ashes of Mothula to the to Batman eventually. And it looks like Sunny is... Nope, not doing the pastel check. Just going to get... he doesn't have the book yet. He never went to Hobo, apparently. So, just going to get out of there.
Yep, Plasma Kappa showing off the potion glitch to get through the bow-locked room in Palace of Darkness.
And Cassie Moen checking out the Cave of Insignificance. And saves and quits out of there. Sunny is checking out Thieves Town. Only runner left to check out Thieves Town. Everyone else has been through here. Now remember that the hammer was in here, so coming here next turned out to be the good play, because once he finishes Thieves Town, that will give him the to whack the logic back together. And Cassie Moen is taking Jeremiah home. And interestingly, he does not have the hammer yet. So now, since he doesn't have the powder from Mothula, obviously it's way further up the sequence chain at this point for him. He wouldn't be able to do that yet anyway. So, but we'll see if Sunny, I believe it is, who has the powder. We'll see if Sunny actually does check Batman when he goes down there later.
Yeah, Chad is asking where the fire rod and the boots came from. Fire rod was on Spectacle Rock and boots were in Waterfall Cave, along with the red mail.
Outfit Cave today.
Yep, matching outfits at that.
Yeah.
We're going to see PKR check that grumpy fish, get her Brian Kane, and then hopefully mirror out and pick up that flute.
Yeah, the mirror is out. She is definitely planning to get both checks in at once here. Won't be doing the sequence rate to get the boots, unfortunately, because we're already up here. Unless she has a water walk stored, I didn't see her doing that. Otherwise, there's no way for her to get those boots right now. So, yep, mirroring over to check Zora.
Indeed. And we know the boots are going to be required to finish off Desert Palace.
Oh, was the big key on the torch?
I believe it was the small key on the torch.
So big key is on the right side. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, in theory, they could steal the key from the upper room, but then, of course, when they go get the big key, they're not going to have another way to get up there, so that won't work either. There's your glove hint again.
Yep. Sonny and Cassidy showing it off to us, one after the other. I always find it interesting. There's so many different routes you can take, so many different choices you can make, and then we see our runners often one room behind the other with no real reason for it other than they have to come make these checks.
Exactly. Now, Plasma Kappa is checking the tablet. We know that there's no progression item here because there is a bug in the logic right now where progression items can't be on the tablets. This is a problem in version 30. Looking like that will be fixed in version 31. Possibly with a revamped hint system and some other wonderful changes will be revealed over time by the developers, I'm sure. But right now, we know that there can be useful items on the tablets, just not progression items at this point.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see people in standard or open still check for swords, but this is swordless. No sword upgrades available there.
Correct. Sonny, just starting his blind fight, is about to get his hammer when he finishes. Pretty good on health. 9 heart blind is not bad, so should be okay here, I would think.
And Plasma goes into the basement of Tower Hera, hoping to dive for a required item.
Welcome to the coffee break. Put your feet up for about 30 seconds and enjoy a nice, delicious cup of joe and watch some tiles fly in a way that they cannot hit you.
And while we do, let's give a shout out to the trackers keeping track of these items in this randomizer race, as Sindoris and Relkin96. Give them a big hand, folks. They're doing a lot.
Yep, big shout out to the trackers here. Casimon is our last round to start the blind fight. Also has lots of health. Also will probably get his hammer very shortly. And since Sonny now has the hammer, everything he has done is pretty much back in logic now. Hammer is on blind for the person in chat asking. You're going to see it on Casimon in just a moment here when Casimon takes off the third blind head. Now just on the second blind head. And there goes blind. And here's that hammer.
Very nicely done.
So any early Palace of Darkness checks are now completed. The mirror is in logic. The fire rod is in logic. And Mothula, which Sonny has already done, is in logic.
Plasma getting the information that a unique item is in Waterfall.
Thanks, game. Now, in his case, he doesn't have the boost yet, so it's more of a thanks game for us. That is useful information for him.
Yeah, imagine his surprise when he not only gets the boots, but also a change of clothes.
You know, those when you go around swinging that sword all the time, those clothes do get sweaty. You gotta change them once in a while.
Yeah, you go swimming in them, you go hiking in them, you go to the desert. You know, always bring a change of clothes. That's just good life advice.
Yeah.
And Sunny has everything that they're going to need to go and kill Trinex.
Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Dungeon number 3 is going to be Turtle Rock today. Some bombs and a bottle requires a big red bomb. Well, Bo's not in Pyramid Fairy. Let's move on to the next location.
The dream is dead.
Wah, wah, wah. So that goes in the category of what we like to call very useful hints.
That actually is a useful hint. The timing that it takes to go and deliver that big red bomb is something you could spend at doing anything else now.
Absolutely.
Such as, in Plasma's case, checking Spike Cave.
And speaking of Spike Cave, by the way, Pink Kitty Rose just did Tower of Hera as well, or at least parts of it. Spike Cave has our Ether Medallion. We know we don't need the Ether Medallion because we did find out somewhere that Quake opens both Turtle Rock and Misery Mire today. Any of those 3 medallions could, Bombos being the last one. But in this case, Quake opens them both today. And Cassie Moen getting his gift for Brian. And
Plasma.
Go ahead. You're going to say it.
I think we were both going to say the same thing. Plasma's using that information he got to go searching for the item.
It's worth knowing he got the flippers somewhere, too. I didn't catch where those were.
Oh, you're right. I completely missed it.
Oh, Moldorm had the flippers today. Interesting. So, Pink Kitty Rose is going to eventually regret leaving Tower of Hera.
Probably saw that it was an immediate play into the basement of Tower of Hera and said, I'm going to invest that time somewhere else. Going to cost her.
It will cost her. Plasma Kappa getting those flippers is going to be important. Because other runners will run out of places to look. They're going to eventually have to go there just to get progression into Swamp or anything that is not sequence breakable with the flippers.
Yeah, technically it's required for Ice Palace as well if anybody
Correct.
wants to go searching for items in there.
And that does matter because Swamp Palace is a crystal say as well. We do have to get it. And Pink Kitty Rose now going through Misery Mire. Cassie Moen taking advantage of the portal south of Palace of Darkness. This is why Palace of Darkness is in logic without the flippers now, because you can hammer and lift the rock there and go into that portal.
I believe Sunny just found the bug net in the Big Key location in Turtle Rock.
I didn't get that on the replay in time, so I am seeing Swagnet in chat though, so I believe that is confirmed. Pink Kitty Rose checked the first chest in Misery Mire, the bridge that has an end. That was the silvers, I think. Did I say that wrong? Or was that some regular sticks?
I was looking at the other screen. I missed it entirely.
Checking the top of the screen, she does have silvers. Pink Kitty Rose got silvers from that chest in Misery Mire. And that leads me to wonder, Casimone. Yeah, Casimone, it looks like, also has those silvers, because I see the arrow icon different there, too. So Casimone and Pinkity Rose both need to have silvers marked. First chest and Misery Mire are the one on the ended bridge. And Sonny going and checking the big chest in Turtle Rock. I already checked Mimic Cave. I was checking on the silver arrows and didn't see what was in Mimic Cave.
I think it was a whole lot of nothing.
And I saw some rupees in that big chest. I thought that was a 20 on that. That might have been one of our so-called swords. And we have a key there. So that will be our... We still don't have a key on Laser Bridge that we're going to have to use here. And Sunny is going into the dark maze portion of Turtle Rock in the dark. Pink Kitty Rose takes a dirt nap.
Yep, those little bomb making slugs. They deal a lot of hearts.
Casimone also did the potion glitch to break through the section of Palace of Darkness, the bowlock section of Palace of Darkness, because Cassie also does not have the bow. So I used the same glitch that was used earlier. Plasma Kappa, meanwhile, checked the pedestal. So for those of you who didn't see what the pedestal was before, there was another shot at it.
Yep, that blue boomerang. Everybody loves it, but I don't think they're going to be seeing it today.
No, we already have the hook shot. We can stun. So Laser Bridge, we have some wooden sticks. We up a trip into the pit, and I would open the safety door. Don't just push it. Go the safety door. Safety door, Sonny. Use the safety door.
Ooh, that's a dangerous position to be in.
I think he just realized he should have used the safety door. And nope, yeah, he took a dirt nap. So he's going to go back a little bit. He's going to have to do that dark room again. This is why you use the safety door if you're low on health. Don't take chances. Oh, he did use the safety door. I didn't see him use it. Okay, never mind. He used it. Vanilla Big Key and Misery Mire today. And there's your final key in Turtle Rock. Of course, it's the last chest.
Always ends up being, no matter what order you do it in.
And now he's taking an intentional death warp, we'll call it in this case, because he wants to get as much health back as he can for the Trinex. We're going to get our Lumberjack check. Now that we have boots, Plasma Kappa is curious, will we need to use them? That is money, so no. Cassie picking up the fire rod. Sonny working his way through the final real puzzle room of Turtle Rock is going to come down to the basement 3 floor. This is the only area of basement 3. And going to ride across the lovely, lovely torchlit path here and enter the door to fight Trinex. A 3-headed turtle who one head is made of fire, one head is made of ice. And you have to use the opposite rod on them to kill them. Which is harder than it sounds, to be honest with you. If you're seasoned at it, you're make it look easy, but it's harder than it sounds. Trust me, I have a hard time with this fight still.
Yeah, especially with Hammer, because you got to do some menu swapping real.
Yeah, if you were ever looking for a game called Menu Simulator 2019, this is it. This and the Argus fight.
Yeah, we're going to see some Argus fights later on. And Plasma finds the Bombos medallion. Not what he's looking for at this point in his life.
Now, I mentioned that there was a change in Ice Palace, and it does involve that Bombos medallion. You will see some Bombos icons on the ground in Ice Palace, including in Cold Stairs room. You can use the Bombos medallion while standing on those specific spots on the floor. And that is the change in Ice Palace because you don't have the sword to activate otherwise. So we had a method had to be provided where you could use that just in case the logic required you to have Bombos to get into Ice Palace. It's also better in the Cold Stair fight, but we won't talk about that.
Ooh, Sonny going down to 1 heart, but using the red potion to bring himself back in the fight.
I think that hit in Desert Palace said there's some bombs in Desert Palace.
Thanks, hint system.
Yep. So that means the bombs are not in a different location because that was a compass. Sunny, meanwhile, does take down Trinex. And turns out Trinex only had a map today, so it wasn't anything worth writing home about. Plasma Cap on his way to Catfish is going to have something to return to Brian later. And he is our last runner to get Brian's cane today. While he bonks off a rock and waits in midair anticipation for the cane to appear. And he will collect it.
And Sonny's putting that swag net to good use, giving it picking that fairy up for some safety purposes later on.
Sonny heading into Tower of Harry. Now, we do know the flippers are in here, and the flippers are required, with Swamp Palace being on the menu today. So, this does have to be completed. Let's see if Sonny actually does finish it. By the way, there was a hint about Dig Dogger. Casimo, meanwhile, does have everything to go fight Mothula, is going to go fight Mothula.
Mothula is a kind of a funky fight with a hammer because it's got such a weird hitbox, top and bottom. Side to side is easier.
Mm-hmm.
But
we didn't mention one change, and we probably should have mentioned this by now. That we didn't mention one change in Skull Woods, and this would apply to Aghanim's Tower as well if we did have to go there. Which, by the way, we don't. He's going to stay alive for now. When we get to the next room, notice that the doorway is already open here. Normally that is closed. You have to use a sword to slash that door open. But because we don't have a sword, we can't do that. So it's already open for us. Suddenly completes his coffee break. He's going to get his lovely big key. And Casimone is frozen in anticipation as we hear audio of the fight.
it sounds like he's doing good.
Yep, and we hear the explosion, so we're doing okay. I will suggest maybe we should change the audio somewhere else due to the stuttering, though, just in case something happens there. But, Pink Kitty Rose checked Batman. I did not catch what it was, but I'm going to check the replay, and I will say that I shall curse you by removing your ability to see. Lamp on Batman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I guess at least dark rooms are in logic now.
Yeah, it looks like Pink Kid Rose is going to take advantage of that logic, go back into Palace of Darkness.
Makes sense to me.
Not. Maybe
no bow,
not.
Though. No, it doesn't have the bow. Can't. Now, I don't think Pinky Rose had the purple chest to come over here with. So it must just be checking the Bombos tablet. Plasma Cat, meanwhile, does get the blueberries from the Land Molas. Pink Kitty Rose bonks on the attempt to go with the Bombos tablet. Take 2 is successful. And Pink Kitty Rose prays to the gods and locates a big 20. I think some runners are still including the tablets in their route only so they don't forget about them later when the next version comes out, even if they do know that they currently can't have progression. They're at least still checking them so they don't accidentally forget them in the future, I think.
Yeah, it can be a difficult habit to break, especially if you've been doing it for, a long time. Meanwhile, Sonny gets his flippers and picks up the red pendant, which we know we won't need.
Yeah, the red pendant we won't need, and in theory, he could actually, if he wanted to, instead of picking up the pendant, he could just mirror out and leave it sitting there once he gets the flippers. But some runners will just take advantage of the opportunity to relax for a few seconds while they're while the celebration is going on. Actually, there is a good question in chat. Can't tablets have progression in Swordless? I think that is a very good point because the swords are not actually in. Because the swords are still represented in the seed by the 20 rupee, green rupee thing, I'm actually not sure if that actually is the case. I think the logic would still take swords into account even though there are just rupees. But that is a very good question. That is something we should probably try to narrow down. I think it does still treat it as a regular logic, though. Sonny is checking out the Cave of Absolutely No Hype.
While Pink Kitty Rose is picking up the Cave of Absolute Hype.
Of Absolute Red.
Red ones go faster.
Very useful red stuff. Cassie Moen is seeing the writing on the wall, goes to Turtle Rock, opens it up, and goes inside. And now finds out that the big red bomb that this dungeon will help unlock is useless. That's why we call that an extremely useful hint today, because it comes before you would ever need to get that big red bomb.
Yes, instead of right after it. Unfortunately, Cass doesn't look like he has the ice rod, so going to be unable to complete the dungeon turtle rock.
Oh, where was the ice rod again?
Bonk Rocks.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Bonk Rock's going to chat.
In fact, it looks like PKR just picked him up.
Yep. Cassie must be in here looking for that ice rod.
Yeah, ice rod can be one of those items that can be potentially almost anywhere. The only place it can't be is located after Trinex, on Trinex, or anything that you need Trinex to get. So in this case, Fat Fairy.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like Sonny is going to make the play on Swamp Palace. Now, taking a look here, because we don't have the bow, we won't be able to go mode this Swamp Palace, but there are 6 items in here. There's a very good chance that there is a bow in here. Very good chance that this could be where it is. And I think that is actually our go mode item.
At this point, it is. Sonny, technically for logic, needs to pick up the lamp still, but it's possible to do it without.
Yeah, it'll be Sonny's call whether he was comfortable doing the rooms in the dark or not. But the lamp is the logical thing that holds everything together. And the lamp is one thing that will always, always have to be in logic, no matter how you do a seed, no matter how you place the pencil crystals, because there are 4 different dungeons that have dark rooms in them that you have to go through. So the lamp will always be required in order to get to Gan's Tower. So Casimone is going through more Turtle Rock. Not going to like the end result when he gets to Laser Bridge and doesn't find an Ice Rod. Or may even go to Trinex not realizing he doesn't have the Ice Rod and then have the sudden realization.
Oh, that would be disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Although it is interesting to note, because of the location of the ice rod, you could leave a portal behind and come back in through the back end of Turtle Rock if you so chose to do.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you'd have to keep the Dark World access point there, and you wouldn't be able to use the Dark World any other way then.
That's right. You'd essentially have to go and do all your Light World checks hoping to find it to come back, which some people like to do it that way.
And it would work in this case because Bonk Rocks are where it is. Now, is it worth noting that 3 of our runners are in Turtle Rock, but at this point, one of them will not be able to complete it. Pinkity Rose over visiting Chompy right now, the wonderfully behaved dog who likes to take a few hearts out of you, and with a single bite on top of that. And Plasma Kappa going through the firebar room, or not the firebar, the roller room, to get the second and third item.
Yep, Sunny taking no chances. Gonna do left side of Swamp Palace, check those items before moving on.
So right now, all eyes are on Sunny because that's where our new information is. We know that Turtle Rock, Turtle Rock generally has at this point. So we are looking mostly at what Sunny is doing right now to see what new information we can find here. I didn't see anything much of interest yet. So, okay, go ahead.
No, it's been pretty slow in Swamp Palace.
Now, Sunny could go... Actually, no, Sunny did not do Desert Palace yet, but we have seen Desert Palace. I don't think it had anything else. As we get to the final chest here. There's our bow. I'm going to say this. If Sunny is okay doing dark rooms without the lamp, then at 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 56 seconds, Sunny 95 is in go mode. If he wants the lamp, he is not. And actually, you know what? I might take that back because he does not have the silver arrows yet, and they are considered pretty much almost essential against Ganon in Swordless mode. So yeah, I'll take back that go mode.
Yes, I think it's theoretically possible to do it without silvers with the hammer, but it is a very precise window.
Yeah, it'd be very precise, be very hard to do, and I think even a lot of pro runners would say, nope, not doing that. Well, we found the single arrow. And
that's the most important one.
That's the one that kills Ganon. Of course, you need to silver it up first.
Just slap some spray paint on it. Who's going to know the difference?
Yeah. But little do you know that the silver arrow has magical heat conducting properties that are good for cooking bacon. Pink Kitty Rose doing the firebar room in the light instead of in the dark. Now we know the lamp is on Batman should Sunny want that. That remains to be seen whether that will... I'm going to guess Sunny will not go for the lamp, but we'll want to get those silvers. And we know they were in Mizumara, so eventually he will get them.
Yeah, unless he begins skipping chests. It's almost certain.
He has to find the big key. He's probably going to go with that chest first.
That is true. And we get to watch Menu Simulator 2019.
Menu Simulator 2019. My favorite game. Available on Steam for a ridiculously high amount. Not.
Really, I think it's just the same game from Menu Simulator 2018.
I think so. Isn't that the same with all the simulator games that add a year to their title?
Essentially.
Oh, we have another suggestion in chat. Super Menu World!
Super Menu Prime.
Cue Mother Brain theme. And this part of the fight will go a lot quicker. 3 fire rod shots, 1 more, and there you go. Pink Kitty Rose, meanwhile, on the way to try next. Cassie Moen did leave Turtle Rock, is in Misery Mire, is going to find the... actually, no, already has a silver arrow, so he's going to continue on and eventually get to Vitreous. Sonny collects his crystal. And let's see if he goes to Misery Mire next. That would put him into effectively go mode. Okay, I'm going to call out a pun in chat. I wonder what she'll try next.
That is gold. I love it. You, sir, get a 8 out of 10 on your pun.
So Pink Kitty Rose is now fighting the final phase of Trinex. And completed. Plasma Kappa is starting the Trinex fight. Virtual high five on the bottom here as Pink Kitty Rose collects the lovely map and crystal here, whereas Plasma Kappa is freezing and burning heads respectively.
If that's Trinex, what he still has the shell. Shouldn't it be like something like Unibody when it's just the middle bar? Doesn't even have legs anymore.
Nah. By the way, for those who want to know, unique item is in Paradox Cave. Thanks, game!
And PKR making the climb up the top tower of Hera. Finally going to pick up them flippers.
The big chest, by the way, has the mushroom today in Desert Palace.
Man, that's kind of a trippy item to find.
Now we're gonna just see items that Sunny doesn't need until he gets to Misery Mire, but because he's in the desert area, I have a strong feeling Misery Mire will probably be his next stop. Casimone, meanwhile, is in the dark. I think that was in Misery Mire, right? Because it's the KS Maria block. And yeah, it's definitely Misery Mire.
It sure is. There's going to be some tricky dark rooms to navigate through, but he's doing it like a pro.
Pink Kitty Rose, meanwhile, finally returns to Tower of Hera. Is not going to like what she finds at the top. Or rather, she will, but she'll just be groaning at the fact that it's there.
No, Trinex is 3 snakes in an overcoat trying to sneak into a movie.
Plasma Kappa now going through Swamp Palace will find the bow in here. And still needs the silver arrows from Misery Mire, but again, otherwise we'll be pretty much ready to go at that point. Sunny collects his crystal from Desert Palace. I would say probably now going to Misery Mire because it's right across the worlds.
Certainly would make sense. It's convenient routing for him at this point.
Where's that portal? There it is.
And that's just going to leave Eastern Palace, which is a quick and easy journey in since it's already cleared most of it, picked up the big key.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He found those flippers early, and that gave him a good edge in this seed. The other runners are, with the exception of Plasma Kappa, the other runners are a little bit behind in terms of dungeon progression. Actually, no, I guess Pink Kitty Rose and Plasma Kappa are about tied, but yeah, 3 dungeons each, but Casimone a little further behind. Still doesn't even have the flippers.
Got Cassidy showing us a Vitreous fight. Ooh, takes a bad death there to one of those little slimy eyeballs.
Nope, gets a fairy. So we're going to make another. We're going to do take 2 on our go mode prediction or call here for Sunny 95. Pink Kitty Rose, meanwhile, still has to find that bow in Swamp Palace. Plasma Kappa is not too far away from him, just has to go to the left side. We'll see if he does that or if he goes to the boss first. Looks like it might be the boss first. Oh, hopefully he comes back and does left side. Casimoan now takes a death. And no more fairies.
Yeah, it shows us just how mean Vitreous can be with the hammer.
And that pulls out the mirror and leaves. And Pink Kitty Rose doing Cannonball Run. Gets the big key. So now Sunny 95 is effectively in go mode, but it's going to be looking for the big key still, which is a vanilla big key, so it's going to take a little while. Now, the only way we will know he's not playing go mode is if he doesn't do the dark rooms. If he does these dark rooms in here, he's going go mode.
Certainly. If you can do the dark room in Misery Mire, you can do the dark room in Eastern Palace. Although I think he's already finished Eastern Palace as much as he could.
No, he has not finished Eastern Palace. I see 5 crystals on his menu, and the 5 are marked.
Yes, what I mean is I think he already has the big key for it.
Oh, yeah, he did the item checks, but I don't know if he did the dark room chest below, but the big key was in the 3rd chest. Pink Kitty Rose gets one of the cutscenes to play and proceeds north.
And if you didn't get enough of the menu, Plasma Kappa is showcasing it on the bottom right side.
Yay! More menu simulator. I tell you, this is a game of the year.
The game of the century. I think this is the best game ever made.
No game better.
But in all seriousness, if you haven't tried playing a randomizer, why not try one today?
That's right. You can go to the link to the ALTTPR.com. If you have the base ROM, you can create your own seeds and play your own seeds.
Yeah, if you use promo code Cyclone, you can get 2 seeds for the price of 1.
No one told me that.
Oh, did they not? I guess they told me not to tell you.
No, I don't think that's an active code. Can't you just generate 2 seeds anyway?
Something like that.
Anyway, in all seriousness, getting back to the race here. Casimone making the way through Tower of Hera right now. Going to be now Sunny and Plasma both have the flippers at this point. Pink Kitty Rose, did she not? She completed Tower of Hera, so she will have the flippers.
Yes, with the flippers, turning in her mushroom, picking up some potions, doing some light shopping while out on the town, hopefully heading towards Swamp Palace next.
And Casimone will be our last runner to get the flippers, going through Tower Hera right now. That's the last of our on-stream runners. Keep in mind there are 10 runners in the race today. There are 6 you're not seeing on the stream. Just taking a quick look at the list of runners. A few of them. Salty Fry is in there. Zelgadisson is in there. There's runner Frostbite and a few others in there. So these are some other runners that are racing today. You're not seeing them on stream, but later in the when we get to the end of the race, we will note where some of them finish as well, especially if they end up being in the top runners in the seed. And it looks like Plasma Kappa is going to the left side of Swamp Palace. This is a good move. We know it. But did he already get this key? I think he did.
I believe he just flooded the that key.
Yeah, he might have just realized he flooded that key. Whoops. Well, let's see. Maybe not.
Luckily, if you do flood the key, the reset's not terrible. All you have to do is mirror, leave the dungeon, and re-enter the dungeon.
Oh no, he didn't flood the key. I guess he must have used that key earlier, because he is able to go upstairs right now, and he will be able to drop down the holes.
I guess Chad is saying that he already beat Swamp, which makes sense because it's marked on the tracker.
He did beat Swamp, and we saw him going back there earlier. He was we commented on his menu simulator, so we know that. And as of right now, he is about to pick up the lovely, lovely letter D.
Yes, this run brought to you by the letter D.
Elmo loved the letter D. Yes, that's a bad Elmo. Don't comment.
You know, I thought it was pretty passable. I thought I was in the same room as Elmo.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind. Started getting his Eastern Palace big key, so he did not clear Eastern Palace earlier, it looks like. And now that he has the big key, I don't think he's going to be clearing anything else in Eastern Palace. Yep, Big Chest can rot there as far as he's concerned. He can just go straight back. Casimone robbing the king of his money. Though you would think the king would have a better fortune than just a big 20.
Yeah, but anybody with a pair of red shoes can apparently waltz down there and take it.
It was meant to be hard to get. And Casimone is now going in the Mire area, and still has to do Desert Palace, so we'll do that first. But we'll presently be going into Misery Mire and getting the silver arrows from there. Which Plasma Kappa apparently has not picked up yet, because he does not have silver on his screen. So he will have to go back there and get that. Unless he is feeling very, very brave. So, we were not going to be running the bot today, but as soon as these knights are vaporized, which is right now, We have a special game that we play here in the live Twitch channel, and those of you watching on YouTube can just play along on your own. Get your guesses in chat for the big key guessing game, number 1 to 22, where you think that big key is located today. Again, we're not going to run the bot because it's a daily race. Another runner may have already seen it, and that would make it easy for someone. So, Boss Godfrey, where do you think that key is located today?
I like chest number 6, sir. How about you?
You know me, it's always 11 because, well, always. And ironically enough, last race I called, the last runner found it number 11.
Still counts.
Yeah, it was Dark Magician strats. It was number 3 for the official play, though. And Pink Kitty Rose completed Menu Simulator 2019, is now doing Calamari Cook 2019. Calamari is now served.
I believe PKR's got to go back in for the bow, though. I believe skipped left side.
I believe you're correct.
And this time, I'm not going to pretend like it's the first time I've seen PKR in this dungeon.
Yep, doesn't have the bow yet, and is mirroring. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
That is twice that Pink Kitty Rose has been where a necessary item is and has left.
You hate
twice.
to see it because it looks like it's going to be an Ice Palace play now.
Yeah, she is convinced Ice Palace is where she needs to go, and we have not had to go in there at all. Nothing was in Ice Palace today. So this is just a play that is going to eat up time for her. And there's that bomb tonight on the ground I was talking about earlier, so at least we're getting to see that today.
And the hint tells us where the fire rod is. Thanks a lot for that hint.
Thanks,
Good
game.
job.
Well, it doesn't tell you exactly where it is, it just tells you it's in plain sight. I mean, there are several places in plain sight, but we've already seen it, so yeah.
That's true, but you did have to walk right past it to get to Tower Hair.
Exactly. If you didn't see it, it's all on you. Anyway, moving along. Sunny is now in Gans Tower, so if you've not guessed, it's too late. Location number 1 is Half Magic, so that'll be nice to have. So say goodbye to Bob. Or maybe he's cured, whatever you want, whatever camp you belong in.
I don't know. I like Bob. Bob's got personality.
Yeah, definitely some personality. Number 2 was money. Number 3 was a key. Number 4 is more money. Number 5 is a fire shield. And I'm going to double check that might have been a sword. No, it was a 50. And he's doing Dark Magician strats. So number 11 for me would be in the room beyond the torch puzzle here.
Yes.
And we're going there.
And the hint that PKR just got is the thing most required, leading her back into Swamp Palace for the bow.
That is actually beautiful. That saved her a lot of time.
Oh yeah, there ain't no doubt about that.
Oh, that was a good case of what you're looking for is another dungeon. Please leave.
Hey, like we talked about, these hints, they can be hit or miss, and sometimes they change your whole routing. Everything you expect out of it.
And Sonny's showing off. You're kidding me.
Wow.
I was just going to say Sonny was
great.
showing off the trick in Tower Room where you can hide from the Wall Master by turning on your cape and pulling a wall and your magic does not drain. I was just in the middle of talking about that. I started talking about that, and all of a sudden the big key showed up. Location number 8 was checked today. What a play on Tower Room, and he mirrored back to the episode, just ran a circle for a moment because I think he was a little surprised that worked out like that. So he made the play. It worked out. He's on his way upstairs.
Yep. And good job, Blue Deck, for guessing chest number 8. That's some insider information you got.
I'll take it a step further and say no one's actually said 22, but there was a runner who said 23, or guesser who said 23. We're not going to count that because it was a 21 as well, but no one actually guessed Tower Room thinking it would have been 22 today. So Pink Kitty Rose is back in Swamp Palace thanks to that beautiful hint that came up. If only it was right at the entrance, that would have been even more godlike. But we won't complain. She got it. And Cassie checking the Swamp Palace hint right now about the piece of heart and chest requiring specialist unlock, which is the exact reason why you never saw the purple chest obtained today, because runners either knew about that or just didn't bother with it. At least I don't think it was obtained, so if I'm wrong, I'll be corrected on that, I'm sure.
And we got Cassidy Moen coming into Swamp Palace, hopefully going to find that bow and start making some forward progress. Even with the bow, though, Cassidy will still have to find the ice rod, which we all know is in Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, that's getting easy to overlook location because it's a quick check, and if you don't do it for a while, you just forget about it. So Sunny, meanwhile, is on the 5th floor of Gannis Tower. Now, again, we're not going to reveal any finishers in the SRL channel until we have a finisher on stream, because we do have Sunny coming close to the final fight here. He does have the silver arrows, so he is good to go for the Ganon fight when he gets there. Pink Kitty Rose working through Mr. Myra now. We'll get those silver... Actually, already has the silver arrows. She just finished that now. And then go to Eastern Palace and make her way to Gannis Tower. I'm very curious if any of the other runners here will check Tower Room. My guess is very unlikely, but we'll at least get to see what the rest of the chests have if someone does not. And that's plenty of time to get upstairs here. So there is a way you can soft lock Gannis Tower or despawn all the enemies in Gannis Tower, all the sprites. If you go upstairs at the exact moment that door that got you in that room on the 5th floor closes, you despawn everything, including these spikes, including those Halmasars.
Including the bosses.
Yep, Trollorm to Aghanim, they all go away.
Yeah, I found out the hard way, actually, one day, just in the middle of a race.
I bet that was not a very fun experience. Is Sunny going to hover? Sunny is hovering and doesn't make it.
I believed in him the whole time, right up until he didn't do it right. We did see him practicing before the race, though, and actually made it across a couple times.
At this point, with the worm pushing him around, I would have just taken the worm out as punishment, but he really wants to show off that he can hover today. Didn't make it this time. At some point, he has to give up on this and actually go through, though, with killing the worm, because you're just going to kill too much time if you stay here trying this.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, PKR killing off her victorious fight with the silver arrows, making it look easy, as Cassidy does Menu Simulator for the final time on our restream.
Sunny either decided that it was a good idea to take on the worm or realized the worm was not in a very good spot and wanted to get rid of it. The worm is down. Now he's going to get the hook shot out instead. And open the chest for the big 20. That, by the way, is vanilla. What is he doing? He's still going to try to hover. He just wants to show off that he can hover. And misses again. So Moldor will be back, but at least the chest will still be there. That's why he opened it. In case he can't do it. Hi again, Troldor.
You gotta admire the dedication.
And that time. It's worth knowing that he's in a good position in this race. So this is, in a sense, taking potential time away from a potential winning, or at least second or third place, even if not winning, run. At this point, I would just move on.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, this is getting to be way too much now. You have to keep some of that health for the Aghanim fight. Yeah, 7 times now. Like, I admire his dedication. I admire his wanting to do it, but someone else may be taking the lead on him in the overall race now, if he's not already.
Well, it is giving Plasma an opportunity to search for that big key.
Yeah. Giving him a lot of time. Come on, Sonny, just finish the game now. Come on. Someone's gonna catch you. And it takes the ferry. He's gonna keep doing it.
And PKR finishing off Armos Knights, while Plasma Kappa finishes off Armos Knights 2 Electric Boogaloo.
9 hover foes. Ah. Then hover foes. Ah.
For those asking in chat, Sunny is attempting to hover across the gap without using the hookshot.
And he gave up.
Ooh.
The correct answer was 10, ladies and gentlemen, and he gave up.
Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor.
Yes. I think what he must have been doing, and I'm just going to guess, but this is definitely something we have to ask him when we talk to him later. I think what he was doing was probably taking advantage of the fact that he found the big key on a tile room gamble and using time that he felt other runners would use to work on his hover. So I think he felt that he in his opinion, he probably didn't lose any time because he would have otherwise spent all that time going to chests.
That's probably about right. And we're seeing some pretty neat strategies here with the... Oh, yeah.
That would have been a triple, but Aghanim disappeared. That would have been a nice triple.
Oh, it's very tricky with the net trying to get a triple.
Yeah, that would have been a triple with the net. Very nicely attempted. Blue ball! Ah. And Aghanim's down. So let's keep in mind, we still have a potential first place on the line here today. And right now, he's just adding to his bonk count. I approve of adding to the bonk count. Cassimone taking out the Pen Gators. Now, Cassimone still does not have the bow, but at this point, a Pinkity Rose is our third runner in Gan's Tower. So obviously in go mode herself. Let's see if she actually makes the tower run gamble. I'm guessing based on what I've seen of her in past races, probably not, but you never know. Maybe she feels like it today. I feel like we keep banging up here, don't you? It's like deja vu all over again, says Ganon. Hashtag deja vu. Now, I have seen some runners use the King of Mario block as a way to work on the Ganon fight. But instead, Sunny takes the death. I assume Sunny packed a couple fairies with... Yep, there's one of them.
And kind of tricky here, trying to avoid all the fire bats and getting in there with the hammer to hit.
Did Cassimo not check the hints in Ice Palace?
No, it did not. Cassidy skipped by the hints and is now making his way all the way through for the full clear.
I think this will be a good seed to advertise the good purpose the hints serve in running a seed. Meanwhile, Sunny is dealing with Warpy Ganon, and this is the point where Ganon throws a temper tantrum in Phase 3. So one more temper tantrum happening now, and he will tell us where the silver arrows are. Yes, we did get the Mystery Mire. Would you like to try some? The torch's light did not take place. No torch glitch either as a result. Trying to set up a double or a triple here. Very nicely placed. Let's see if it actually works out here. 1, 2. He got the triple. Very nice.
Yes, very smoothly done.
And one more shot. And he's going to get a single final hit. This will make bacon. And breakfast is served as Sunny stands, well, now does just weird hover movement in the middle of the Triforce. And now stands and faces forward with the supposed sword in the air, which we do not have, obviously. As he is our first on-screen rider to finish the seed, we will get the official SRL time and whether he won the race. Let's find out. Actually, I want to read the Triforce text first, then I will find out. The Triforce's message after this beautiful swordless seed is, and scene. And did Sunny win the race? The official SRL time, 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 33 seconds. And Sunny95 is your winner, ladies and gentlemen, of tonight's daily race. Congratulations and GG. Get your GGs in chat.
Yeah, you gotta love it. This was a complicated seed to run, and that was very well executed.
And that was even with the attempt, all the hover practice in the middle of Ganon's Tower. We'll see if he wants to join us here. So remaining with our on-screen runners, Plasma Kappa is going through to Trolldorm 2 or Moldorm 2 right now. Pink Kitty Rose, based on where she is, I'm assuming she did all of left side and looks like she skipped Tower. She's got Yaudet. So, yep, Tower will be number 22 here as well. Plasma Kappa fighting the worm right now.
Yep, and Cassidy getting a fight in with the world's meanest cotton candy.
Okay, I just learned that Sunny does not have access to voice call right now, so we will not be getting joined by Sunny. But the question is being asked in chat about the hover practice, and I'm just going to go back and read what he said here. And any other thoughts he wants to share in chat, he can do so. He said he was practicing hovering all day, which we saw him doing before the race. He's sad he failed, but that Ganon's Tower big key, he says. Number 8 was where he found it, in the tower room, which was just a play. That was a play, to say the least. The question was, that someone asked in the chat was, did you feel behind the gamble tower room, or were you just memeing? And he said he was just memeing.
Well, I guess that makes sense, but occasionally it's going to pay off.
I was concerned that he wasn't going to be able to win the race if someone else overtook him, but he still won the race, even with the memeing. 10 memes and a win in the daily. Not a bad day.
Oh yeah, I mean, even with the time loss, still first place.
Mm-hmm. But he just made all the great plays in the seed today. He went and finished Tower Hero before anyone else did. Got the flippers. Urgent required item. And we saw, for example, Pink Kitty Rose didn't go up to finish Tower Hero on her first visit. Then she left and had to come back. And then she went to Swamp Palace, and same problem there. Didn't go to the left side to get the bow. Left, check the hits at Ice Palace, and guess what? Go back to Swamp Palace. There's your bow. Was right there in the hint tile. So Sonny just made the right plays at the right time, and that's what gave him the win today. And the backlash stick sleeps again. All hail the backlash stick.
And it looks like Cassidy is going to be heading back into Swamp Palace for the bow.
Yep, it does look like it at this point. I saw him going to using the hammer to get to the portal. Sonny further says with the tower room big key, he was committing 5 minutes to hover. So, I believe that goes into what I suggested he might have been doing. He might have realized he gained a lot of time with tower room on a lot of runners who wouldn't have checked it early. And I was using that time because that's time he didn't have to check chests. But since Sonny is in chat, I will say that yes, the way that you, even though it was a sequence break, and we commented on the sequence breaks if you eventually were to go back and watch it, we did comment on those sequence breaks, and it just so happened that you found that mirror on a sequence break, led to the fire rod on the same sequence break, led to Mothula, and then you went back and you found the link to them, and it just put everything wide open for you at that point. So a really well-run race.
Plasma taking an unfortunate death on Ganon. Headed out to get some more potions, I assume.
From the light world, yeah. So Pink Kitty Rose has a little bit of time to try to catch up here. Now this time, if we do see any other finishers, we will announce them, but at this time I do not see any other finishers. No one else has completed the seed yet. We also have no forfeits, so no one has actually quit the seed today. We're not going to announce the forfeits, but I can see none in the channel yet. So Plasma Kappa is back to the pyramid with some medicine in hand. I didn't see if he stopped to pick up a fairy or not in case he took a dirt nap, but I'm assuming he just stuck with the medicine because that gives a lot more health. Now, because Plasma Kappa is coming back on a second attempt at Ganon, his pattern for the phases will be different. Like when the game is seeded, the original Ganon pattern is hard-coded, but if you take a death, anything goes. It's a different pattern. It's all random after that. And ladies and gentlemen, at 1 hour 54 minutes, and we're going to call it 36 seconds, Cassie Moen is in go mode.
Well, not quite. Still needs the ice rod.
Oh yeah, here I'm rushing myself. I keep forgetting Cassie Moen did not pick up the ice rod from the Bonk Rocks. Looks like Sonny has brought up his hover attempts in the on his stream there, so we're seeing his hover attempts just by chance here.
And as Plasma makes his way through Ganon's fight, PKR is doing Aga 2 with the bug. Nice little double right there.
That near triple on Sonny's fight was pretty good. Unfortunately, that didn't land.
Yeah, Plasma actually had a very neat fight, very smooth. And PKR
That looked like
brings
3
it down.
doubles.
It sure did. Those net dashes are kind of a sight to behold.
Oh, we have a temporary pause there on Plasma Kappa's audio, but see if we can stick with him for the rest of the fight here. Got a nice double there. I didn't see if he got the torch glitch or not, but he's going for the final shot, looks like, because he ran for it, and that is the final shot. As Pink Kitty Rose starts the Gan fight, Plasma Kappa finishes the Gan fight, holds his hand in the air with no sword in it, and salutes us, and salutes you, chat, and is about to cross a 1x3 bridge, and he has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 41 seconds in second place. And his comment in the race channel is identical to that in his name's Send Help.
Yep, PKR getting good position inside of the circle of fire bass to just wail on Ganon's head.
And Pink Kitty Rose is not very far behind here. Getting the silver arrow hint now, and will she go for torch glitch? She did not even go for it.
Send help.
Trying to time a nice triple instead. And Ganon got away, so it didn't work out. Might be a double. Yep, got a double.
So I think we got Plasma Kappa in the channel with us now. GG.
Yep, but we're gonna hold off. We're gonna hold off for a second before we talk to Plasma Cow because we want to get Pink Kitty Rose in too. Almost done here, so hold on a second here before we start that. Pink Kitty Rose is only 1 or 2 hits away, I think. And there is Pink Kitty Rose's final hit. So Pink Kitty Rose will be our next finisher. We'll get the SRL time for her, and then we'll start talking to Plasma Kappa here. So Pink Kitty Rose also salutes the crowd, standing above the Triforce on the floor, and crosses the bridge with an official SRL time in third place of 1:58.15. And we'll see if she wants to join us as well. And while we do that, Plasma Kappa, GG, congratulations on second place.
GG. Thanks, Hammer. Hey.
So how'd you feel about that?
Well, I haven't done Hammer Ganon in a while, as can be evidenced.
Yeah, it's kind of a rough death to take, but honestly, getting in there close to the fire bats is always tough with the hammer.
Oh. Oh yeah, eventually I just kind of played menu hook shot, which was very exhilarating.
So what were your thoughts on that scene in general today?
Well, I forgot Hera was a pendant. I was like, oh, it's a pendant. Well, I have to finish it now. Then it paid off.
Yeah, paid off in a pretty big way, actually.
Yeah, it was absolutely required today.
Yep. And it also sent me directly to the boots.
Well, the reason that Sonny ended up winning the race is he actually did Tower of Hera before everyone else on stream did. And I'm assuming before anyone else in the race, because he was a mile ahead of everyone in this race from what I can see. He did it in a very good matter of time that he literally had the clue to go to the flipper locations very, very quickly. And it looks like Casamone may have forfeit here. I'll get a confirmation in the channel in a moment for that. But that's the reason why he got so far ahead. He found the flippers early. He also sequence broke Palace of Darkness with a water walk to get the mirror, which led to the fire rod, which led to the Mothula kill, and then he went back to Thieves' Town, found the hammer. But by then he had the whole chain completed. He was completely in logic.
Oh, that's quite an exciting way to do it.
Yeah, it was a very interesting way to do it. And by the way, we do have Pink Kitty Rose in the channel here as well. GG.
Hi, I played absolutely terribly. There was really no excuse for a lot of what happened in that scene. Like, I don't know what that mire was. I was so tilted to hit, like, as much as possible. Just really bad play.
We noticed two very key, and I don't want to call them mistakes because it was just obviously playing the odds here, but two key things that led to the mistake, to the time loss in your case, the big key ones. One of them was obviously leaving Tower of Hare without completing it, coming back about half an hour or 45 minutes later, whatever that was, finding the flippers then. And then the other one, of course, leaving Swamp Palace, leaving the bow behind Ice Palace. But then you got bailed out by a hit in Ice Palace.
Yeah, it was nice of it to put that early so I could just immediately leave.
Yeah.
Both the dailies I've done badly in a row now have had something on left side swamp, and that's just, I really shouldn't have skipped it. I even told myself when I was leaving, it's like, there's 2 items in here, but there's not very many more items in Ice Palace, and that's a lot longer of a play. There's no reason to skip it, but I did it. And my execution was garbage the entire scene. Like, I just upset at myself for how badly I played that. There was really no reason for it, and I don't know what that opening was. I should have just done what I usually did. Would have worked out better. It would have been easier to count off the number of things that went right in this seed, and pretty much the only one was getting the ice rod ahead of time, but then it turned out Total Rock was empty anyway, so that didn't matter, so...
Oh yeah. I was baited by the lamp to go to TR before Swamp.
Did you hear what I was explaining to Plasma Kappa about how Sonny got so far ahead, by the way, Pink Hero?
I mean, that's all you had to do. The flippers unlocked everything. The seed was just like, here's your Dark World access, and now we're going to give you your items one at a time until you get the flippers, which unlocks literally everything for some reason. Just the item placement in this seed was bad anyways, but I'm not even upset about that. I'm just mad at myself for just playing like a moron. The number of times I die when there's a potion in my inventory that I had plenty of time to use is just gross.
Oh, that's what you're referring to.
Well, there was that. There was forgetting to hit the switch after the death, so I had to do this weird loop around to go and get the chest beside the big chest again. And Mire was empty after all that, going into Desert Palace without the boots when I've sequence broken the book. Just this whole catastrophe of nothing going right.
Oh,
Like this gigantic mess.
It's all about DP, but it just did not seem like a wise idea.
I did it after Purple Chest and Agina, so I was at least doing other things close by. But, like, yeah, it was Purple Chest, of course, because why wouldn't Hammer be on blind in a swordless seed?
Makes sense.
I'm just mad at myself. I really hate it when I, really grossly underperform. I just, routing is routing. It's rando. That happens. It's the execution that upsets me, and that's what happened with this scene, is that I played badly, and I really don't like how that feels, because it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's this mess. Also, Tyrone Big Key. It was Tyrone Big Key in the standard earlier, wasn't it? 2 in a row? I think it was 2 in a row.
I actually didn't see that, so I don't know that. But that was another weird play that Sonny actually gambled on and actually paid off. So when he found big key at number 8 in the tower room. And if you want,
Why am I not?
if you go back to watch the replay, you'll see this too. He went upstairs.
I'm not surprised.
He went upstairs. He tried to hover twice. Then he beat Trolldorm, and then to open the chest. And then he kept trying to hover. And after he got through 10 attempts, he finally went ahead and beat Aghanim.
Oh yeah, my
just marvelous.
My item dashes on Aga 2 were terrible as well. It's like, it took me, 3 rounds before I finally got one? Just gross. Ugh. God, I need to go play some more NMG or something. Just tighten up base mechanics, because I'm being sloppy lately, and it's frustrating.
I enjoyed having the net for Aga 2.
Yeah, that's
That
at
was a
least one
worry.
thing to a rock had. I did that. Something.
Oh, I consider it pretty important because last time I tried Hammer Aga, it went poorly.
Yeah, I think the net is the more common preferred way to fight him in Swordless, just because in a way it works not perfectly like a sword, but in a way it does work in some ways like a sword, so I can see where it can draw that distinction.
It's not the hammer. Take it.
Yeah, it was my first time seeing the net dash strategy that we saw from PKR.
Oh, yeah, it works a lot better when you do item dash. Like, it hits them straight ahead, and you don't have to time it like with spins.
That's neat. Not too great at item dashing though. I just played it out.
Alright, for now, I'm going to bail on you guys, but... Oof, is all I can say. Oof.
Still, it was a good effort for everybody. Everybody stuck in there, no matter how frustrating it was.
Yeah, it was a very interesting run. Needless to say, it was a great run, and weird seed, but some of them are going to be weird. With the number you play, some of them are just going to be weird like that. So it's always fun to see how some of those turn out, and this was one of those really weird ones.
Oh, GG's. Maybe in the next time we'll play like
Gee.
that. Bye.
Well, Plasma Kappa, Pinkity Rose, let's go in that order. Any final thoughts on the seed before we start to wrap up here?
No, not really. Guess I should just not look at my pending crystal tracker. Seems to work out.
And PKR?
I think PKR's already left channel.
Oh, PKR disappeared. Oops. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and start wrapping up here. I want to thank PKR, obviously, and Plasma Kappa, Sunny, 95, and Cassie for letting us follow them today on the race today. We do have a few more finishers I'll cover very quickly here as well. We're actually almost done the race now. Some other finishers today were fourth place was Frostbite 3030 with a time of 2:01.14. I saw him chatting in the chat as well. Zelgadison in fifth with 2:02.13. At 2:03 even, we had Salty Fry, and then we had another forfeit, someone who's said he's too tired to finish it. We won't discuss who that is, don't want to embarrass anyone here. And we just have two more people running in the race right now, and we'll see if they finish, it'll be off stream. We won't see their results at this point. So with that said, I'm just going to bring up the schedule and see what else we have going on, because the night is not over at Speed Gaming for those of you watching live. Of course, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, anything else I talk about here will be on a different playlist. You can follow to those playlists and follow those. But what we have going on Speed Gaming right now, there's a Super Metroid weekly race going on. It looks like that is an any percent race this week. There's also I think this is a doubleheader. I'm going to confirm this quickly. Luba 7 versus Paranoia. It is a doubleheader. That doubleheader started at 10 o'clock. It's Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer. And the second race is scheduled to start about now, which I'm going to assume that is the case. So that will be on for at least another hour or so over there on Speed Gaming 2. The Super Metroid Week race on Speed Gaming 4. And there is probably still a Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer race going on Speed Gaming 3, because those can take a little while. And that is actually, I think, the bronze medal match between Solsky and Hitaka as well. So definitely check out that tournament. It's coming near its conclusion. The gold medal match is coming up as well, which I think is either a best of 3 or best of 5. I'm not sure. But that's what's going on tonight. Coming up tomorrow, it's a very, very busy day. A lot of Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer, a lot of Portal 2 on the schedule. There's also a couple of races in the fall tournament for the Link to the Past Randomizer, this game. And I want to cover those. We have the Lane versus Korek starting at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, Eastern Time. And the second race will immediately follow that. Both races are going to be on back-to-back tomorrow. So make sure you... now, the channel's not assigned yet. I'm guessing that's going to probably get to the main channel or maybe Speed Gaming 2. But you can get more information on that by going to speedgaming.org/schedule. When the channel is known, you'll be able to look it up there and see exactly where that is and go to that channel to watch the race. There's also some Donkey Kong Country 3, also some Ori and the Blind Forest qualifiers going on. So very, very busy day here at Speed Gaming tomorrow. That's not all. That's just a little bit of it. Again, go to speedgaming.org/schedule to get more information on where everything's going to be tomorrow. By tomorrow. So with that said, let's start wrapping up. Boss Godfrey, any other thoughts you have today?
No, that just about does it. It was an interesting scene to watch and commentate on. I was happy to be here with you.
Likewise. And also make sure to everyone to tune in for the Open Weekly. The dailies obviously don't go on the weekend, but the Open Weekly does at 5:30 on Sunday as well. That's also part of this series. So make sure you check in on that as well on Sunday afternoon. So with that said, I want to once again thank our trackers. Let me get their names again. We have Sindoris and Relkin96 who pushed the buttons today. Thank you for your assistance. Everyone make sure to also follow my co-commentator under Nick Godfrey on his Twitch name. And I am Cyclone GU on Twitch as well. Should you wish to follow me, I'll be streaming at some point in the near future, I'm sure. And with that said, I want to also say follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6 for all your speedrunning needs. You'll find a lot of things going on here. Not everything, obviously, but a lot of events going on here, and there's always something on to watch here, even if it's just a VOD on replay. You can watch it, pretty much anything here at any time. So lots of stuff to watch. And with that said, have a great evening, everyone. I will close by saying, may not all your seeds be pet seeds. And Boss Godfrey, you get the final word.
Everybody be safe out there. Have a good night.